Hello, all benders and non-benders, and welcome back to Avatar Generations. And today, we are going to be going over the latest 5-star special hero in the game, the Blue Spirit. Now, before we get started, as always, if you do enjoy this video, leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. It very much helps out the channel, and we are on the road to 10,000. It's going to be a long road, but we are walking it. So, with that out of the way, let us talk about this character. Now, I'm just going to kind of assume that all of us have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. It triggers me to no end that the Blue Spirit can be used in the same team as Zuko. That triggers me to no end, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Anyways, he is a 5-star offensive character, special hero. He's got the swords. We always love the swords. And let's see what he can do here. His basic dual blades deals 4 hits of fierce damage to one enemy, heal for 5% of max HP. This attack cannot be countered and cannot land as a weak hit. So fierce damage ignores all damage reduction effects on the target. This includes barrier, this includes skills that reduce damage, and that includes defense, which means that high defense characters, he's not going to care. He's just going to slash the crap out of them. And then this attack cannot be countered or land as a weak hit. If you do give him some skill ups, he gets more damage, of course, and more healing. So kind of a little bit of self-sustain there, almost like lifesteal, but not really. Looking at that here, I believe that goes up to 15 increased HP, bringing it up to a total of 20%. So that's pretty good if you do get some copies of him. If we take a look at his advanced here, it does have the skill mastery. We'll get to that in just a second. Vanishing Strike, dealing 2 hits of spirit damage to all enemies, 50% chance to enter a vanished state for 1 turn. This attack cannot be countered and cannot land as a weak hit. So spirit damage, basically, he has a 25% chance to increase the cooldown of the target by 1. So basically their advanced skill, it'll put that on cooldown or increase the cooldown if it's already there. And then Vanish State, we've seen this on Zhong Zhong and we've seen this on the Deserter set. Dodge all attacks until the caster deals damage. Basically, until his next turn when he attacks, or if he's used in a combo, all attacks going after the Blue Spirit will miss if he's in that vanished state. Looking at his skill ups here, the chance of that happening does increase by 10% until level 6 when it does reach that 100%. So basically, at level 6, if you do get 5 extra copies, that goes up to 100% and you will always get that vanished state when he uses his advanced. So, taking a look at his passive here, real simple but also quite powerful. Increase speed and attack by 5% for 1 turn when not in a vanished state at the start of every character's turn. So, if he's not in that vanished state, whenever all of your allies, and I believe the enemies too, whenever they take a turn, he's getting stronger. He's getting speed and he's getting attack for 1 turn, meaning he can get to his next hit faster, and it will hit harder. That's kind of his thing, is he wants to hit like an actual truck with those attacks. So very, very simple, but very powerful. And then at level 4, you do get the increased effect duration, which means you're going to be getting a lot more stacking, which can be very, very powerful. Taking a look at his skill masteries here on his advanced. First of all, we have increasing spirit damage cooldown chance, but to 35%. So that's from 25% to 35%. Not a massive boost, only a 10% boost, but it is on the mastery level 2, so that's like a trivial thing to even get to, and a buff is a buff. So that's not bad. Mastery level 3, 50% chance to inflict special element on up to 2 enemies for 2 turns when entering a vanished state. So basically, whenever he does go into this vanished state, he has a chance of inflicting some special elements. Not bad there, keep in mind. Special element will make the enemy not be able to heal and if I'm remembering correctly, take more damage from combos. So very helpful stuff there, a very good one to get. And then Mastery level 4, if you are able to get those arena wins, 1 turn after the caster enters a Vanish state, enter a Fearsome state for 2 turns. So basically, when he goes out of Vanished, he's going to enter Fearsome. If I'm remembering correctly, that decreases the defense of the enemy team. So basically, once again, focusing on doing more damage. He's going from stealth to intimidation so that the enemy will take more damage. So that is what we have for his skills. I will say, this guy skills up good on duplicates. If you do get him up all the way to level 6, not only does he hit like a truck, but he does get the 100% Vanish state, which is pretty important to his whole kit. And of course at level 4, which is probably the first breakpoint you want to think of. At level 4, he does get the extra turn on that increased speed and attack. So, if you wanted to power this guy up, the first breakpoint is level 4. If you do have 3 coins lying around and you want to use them on the Blue Spirit, the level 4 is the very first breakpoint on this passive. From there, if you do want to go all the way to level 6, it's not the worst idea in the world if you want one really powerful special element hero, because he hits hard and can even do damage in arena if he's built correctly. So that's something to keep in mind there. Something to keep in mind. Now let's take a look at how you actually want to build him. Probably the single best set you could give him is the Deserter set. This was first released with Zhong Zhong a while back and is currently a possibility of one of the 3 possibilities of getting a legendary art set in the Summer Festival banner going on right now for arts every time you hit Pity. So basically what does that do? That increases his attack by a good bit, and then he vanishes for 2 turns. It'll probably just be 1, just knowing how his playstyle works. But vanish for 2 turns when your HP is at 25% or below. This is not a death save, but if he does get below that point and survives, he will go into that vanish state. Not only does that really give him a chance to breathe and pretty much guarantees that he'll be able to get 1 more attack in before he dies, but it also just straight up plays to his kit, as he does have several effects that trigger based on that vanished state. Now it is worth mentioning that those effects are on the advanced, not on the passive, so I'm not sure if they play well with the Deserter set, but regardless, it's just not a bad idea for him to be able to have that vanish, basically guaranteeing a counter attack. If you don't have that, or you don't really want to play that way, speed is a fantastic one, attack, and depending on if you have enough crit rate, then you can throw in some crit damage if you wanted, but honestly, speed and attack is going to be the way to go. Keep it simple. Taking a look, of course, at the pets, if you were lucky enough to get a copy of the Inagi, that's not a bad idea, but if not, we don't really have a gigantic number of options, if I'm being totally honest. We do have, of course, the Lion Vulture, and the Owl Wolf here is an offensive support, but those are both 3 stars. I'm trying to look here. I don't think... We really don't have a whole lot of options for special heroes in general. If I'm being totally honest, they could really use a little bit of love. They really need some good 4-star options, because at the moment, it's really not there. It's really not there. But work with what you got. Work with what you got and see how you can do. Speaking of options, we do, of course, have to take a look at the relics. First thing I do want to bring up is, of course, the Ice Frog. This was available as an event relic when he first came out. Ice Frog removes negative effects from the caster and permanently increases the character's speed by 15%, that's at max tier, if a negative effect is present on the caster when they are attacked. So basically, this is more of a utility relic. It's not really going to help his damage, but let's say he's stunned or captured or something like that. The next time he's attacked, he gets to shake that off and he gets some increased speed. So It plays to his speed and it cleanses him of any negative effects, but not really helping his damage, if I'm being honest. Once again, his options are limited. Of course, there's his signature relic in his banner. If you were able to get a few copies of his mask, then yeah, that's going to be the best one for you. I do want to also bring up the option of the planetarium. Now, this is a 5-star, but there is the, again, Summer Festival banners going on. This relic is much more accessible for a limited time if you wanted to go for it. Now, what I've said in past videos still stands. Don't feel like you need to go for these. But if you did, the planetarium is a fantastic option. At max tier, 30% chance to reduce the advanced skill cooldown by 3 after you attack. That has 2-turn cooldown. I believe it even at tier 1 it's 20%, which is still decent. So basically, that will make you get to his AoE advanced skill, which has a chance to make him revanish and can make it even harder for the enemy to pin him down. Honestly, with our current options, this one's probably the best, but you can absolutely just stick the Ice Frog on him and call it a day, and it will work just fine. So that is all we have for today. I don't believe he's going to be in the banner shop much longer. Nope, I'm wrong about that. He does have another week. So if you wanted the Blue Spirit, he is in there right now. One more thing, and this is for a couple days only. At the time of recording this video, she's probably only going to have a day and some change. Or excuse me, at the time of uploading. But they actually did bring back Suki for a weekend. Suki was released at the very beginning of the global release. And if you are down bad on some special heroes, between the Blue Spirit and Suki, you've got some fantastic options. I will also mention that Suki does have the Yanagi on here if you're, like I said, special hero supports are few and far between, but that is a pretty low rate and you're going to want to really prioritize getting Suki herself. She is very, very, very good. But that is all we have for today. Let me know how you like the Blue Spirit down below in the comments. Like I said before, subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean a lot to me and would really help the channel. And we shall see you next time. Have a good one.